Hey friends, back in the studio, we're talking about the FLDS. So where I left off in the previous segment, the FLDS fled Salt Lake City, Utah, thinking the world was going to end. These are based on the facts that I understand, because of the Olympics, and it was going to be Ragnarok, Armageddon. So they needed to get to someplace safer, someplace where they weren't going to be observed. Perhaps this was a way for them to retreat away from law enforcement. And they went to a town in northern Arizona that was largely, I don't want to call it abandoned, but it was a town that was easy for them to take over and then buy land, buy homes. The church bought everything, and then the church became in control of everything because law enforcement were FLDS members. CPS workers, if there were any, were FLDS members. Everybody in that community was controlled or a part of the FLDS. All the homes were owned by the FLDS. If you were excommunicated from the church, you were excommunicated with what you could take. Your family and your house belonged to the FLDS. As I understand it, people pledged their businesses and the patents and other intellectual, anything they created was for the church. And that's where churches tend to take a step away, that level of control from bringing the word into the community, to putting, in this case, men in position to twist up that message, right? And perhaps it's because the founder of the FLDS, Warren Jeffs, which his message was, keep sweet to the women, keep sweet, pray and obey. A very, very strict dress code, hairstyles, etc. And clearly showing that the currency of that faith was women, young women, teenage brides, virginal brides, child rape. There's really no other way to say it. So Rulon and his group come to northern Arizona. A news reporter gets wind of the child brides, the child sexual assaults. The Arizona Attorney General begins to target them, not in a super aggressive way like what happened in Texas later, but in an aggressive way because of the rumors of marriage to children and children being forced into marriage and forced to have children, bear children under the age of 16, under the age of 14. Basically, no other way to put it, can't sugarcoat it, it's child sexual assault, and these girls are being born and groomed for child sexual assault. They're homeschooled. They wear a certain very rigid style of dress, almost Amish-like, and they are raised to be the child brides of these church elders, these people who donate vast fortunes to the church, and then the reward for being a good steward to the church, to donating and tithing, the reward for that is extra wives. And men with 68 offspring, 3 wives, right? It's not uncommon in that FLDS cult, in the cult part of this, where girls were used as the commodity for control, for tithing, for rewards, for loyalty to the cult, right? Where twisted up old kitty diddlers were in charge. And this got the attention. There were some child runaways, some child bride runaways who got their story out. They got away and they got their story out. And I commend the law enforcement in Arizona because they started putting some kind of pressure, not the pressure that the state of Texas did, but some kind of pressure on these child predators, these men like Warren Jeffs and his cronies who were in charge of bartering for little girl and child bride with each other for money and for power and for their twisted sense of faith and what I don't even know how you could ever imagine that bartering children for sex had anything to do with the word of any religion. But that's probably what fascinates people so much about this story. More to come on Warren Jeffs and the FLDS from the studio.